Flopsy and the Easter Bunny Olympics, Part 11 of 40. Dodger, with me hopping along front and center, marched 119 of Sidrinum's 10 dozen phalanx of would-be Easter bunnies to a platform that overlooked the 400-meter steeplechase course. "I hope you're all ready for a bit of dirty fun," she said to the 119 rabbits she brought to a halt atop the observation platform, "as there's really no way to go over, under, around, and through the obstacles you'll encounter on any of our steeplechase courses without getting some good old-fashioned dirt in your fur. You've likely been doing steeplechase since you were itty-bitty baby bunnies, what with both play and having to outfox the foxes, outslither the snakes, taking cover from coyotes, outrunning the raccoons, as well as just playing with your friends. The good news is that there will be none of these predators present on the course, nor will there be owls, hawks, eagles, or crows overhead, badgers or bobcats snapping at your heels, or dogs and cats waiting to pounce on the inattentive Easter bunny who hops into a human's home without eyes wide open and ears at full, upright, and cocked position. No predators on the course, but plenty of obstacles. As you can see, we have spared no expense in altering and contouring our little corner of the Wells Fargo into a scene very reminiscent of what makes up the Chiwere-Siouan landscape, and especially the area surrounding Monk's River. Tons of dirt, brambles, briars, thickets, and trees, fences, streams, everything one would likely encounter in the great outdoors of Greater Chiwere-Siouan has been painstakingly recreated in our 100-meter 8-obstacle course. Your task is to complete 4 100-meter laps on our 400-meter course as quickly as possible by going over, under, around, and through as appropriate. And mind that final word, appropriate. If you choose to go around an obstacle that is clearly designed to force you to go over, under, around, or through, you will receive an ever-expanding time penalty for each infraction. The first infraction costs you 10 seconds, the second one 20, the third 40, the fourth 80, and so on and so forth. Though it should be obvious from each obstacle's design whether you are to go over, under, around, or through, each obstacle has been constructed in one of 4 colors: red, yellow, blue, or black. The only obstacles you may go around without time penalties are the 2 black ones. How many black obstacles are there on the course? 2, hollered most of the intently listening Fluffle. Correct! In 4 laps, you will encounter 8 black obstacles that you may and should go around without a time penalty. You must go over blue obstacles if you do not wish to receive a time penalty. Blue is the color of the sky above, and blue equals an obstacle you must go over. Yellow is the color of clay below, and yellow obstacles are to be gone under, while red obstacles are to be gone through. The mnemonic device, that is to say, the way to remember what red represents, is that going through obstacles such as barbed wire fences, briar thickets, and the like frequently results in blood loss. But not here. The obstacles you must wiggle through will be tight and challenging, but not sharp, so no worries concerning scrapes and tears to your lovely little hides. The course is 100 meters in length, and each lap presents you with 2 of each type of obstacle for a total of 8 obstacles per lap: 2 overs, 2 unders, 2 arounds, and 2 throughs. The obstacles are evenly spaced and repeat the pattern of over, under, around, and through, so you should know what comes next if you remember that Grover song from Sesame Street that Flopsy mentioned. As 120 of you will be competing on the same course at the same time, we will employ a time trial start for this event. You will be lined up in reverse order of your burden obstacle finish time. So whichever bunny finished first in your burden obstacle race, that hippity-hopper will start last in the 4-lap, 400-meter steeplechase. Bunnies will be released at 5-second intervals. If one releases 120 rabbits at 5-second intervals, 9 minutes and 55 seconds elapses between the start of our first bunny's race and the start of our last. Our time trial starts all but assures that the first bunny will be through all 4 laps of the course before our 120th bunny even begins. Do not let this worry you. Each bunny's race time will be recorded, and each bunny receives points based on times, not ordination. Whoever finishes the course in the least amount of time will receive 120 points, and whoever finishes the course in the greatest amount of time will receive 1 point. You will have no way of knowing how fast other bunnies are running the course until every bunny has finished and everybody's time, plus penalties, is known and recorded. We use the time trial start and total time plus penalty scoring method because bottlenecks are inevitable. When you encounter a bottleneck at an obstacle, Remember that any bunny who does not show Easter Bunny appropriate sporting behavior and cuts the line or does not perform the designated over, under, around, and through for the blue, yellow, and black obstacles will receive a time penalty. That is to say, an exponentially increasing amount of time added for each infraction. I implore you, no matter how frustrating you find waiting in line, do not push to the front of a queue, as you shall receive a time penalty. And it takes very few penalties to rack up an enormous amount of time being added to your run. Have we any questions? Dodger asked. Even though I had 2 questions, I, like the other 118 bunnies who were about to compete and complete our final event before the first culling of Easter Bunny Games competitors would occur, said nothing. I knew that asking the first of my 2 questions would be rude. I wanted to ask why I, along with the other faster bunnies, was being penalized and forced to start near the trail of the 10 dozen rabbits in my group simply for having done well in round number 1. But even as I decided not to ask, I figured that as long as every bunny was lining up in reverse order, then at least the system was fair, even though it didn't quite seem that way to me. My other question concerned where Woundwort, the nephew of Tempestus Lacus, who'd called me stupid, was. But even as I decided against asking, Sidrinium arrived with Woundwort in tow, and Sidrinium announced, "Sorry to keep every bunny waiting. We're ready to head to the course if you are." "Perfect timing," Dodger said. "Flopsy, you're still lead bunny. Let's get hopping."